Hello friends! Welcome back to another video. It's been a minute since we've chatted again. Um, on my BTS Truth Untold cover, I got a comment that asked for this video, so I decided to go ahead and make it because this seems like a really cool idea and like a lot of fun to make. So I hope you guys enjoy and that you can learn a little bit of something out of this. So first off, I don't sing it in the original key. Um, my voice doesn't go as low, and it just doesn't quite work out as well as when they sing it in their key. So I sing it in the key of C, which is 4 half steps up from what they sing it. So I'm going to teach you the chords and that sort of stuff in the key of C. If you want to change that, I will have the chords that I used linked down below. They're off of ultimateguitar.com. And you can change that by transposing on the screen. So it's really super easy. You'll just have to learn different chords, but the strumming patterns will work. The vocal notes are like the same, it's just in a different key. So I played my cover on the baritone ukulele. I really like the baritone ukulele because it's like a deeper tone. I felt like it fit the song really well. Regardless, I also have my soprano ukulele here that I will show you how to do the chords on that as well. But I'm going to run through them real quick on the baritone first. Your first chord is going to be A minor, and it is shaped like this. So you go 1, 2, 3. So my first finger is on the first fret of the third string, my second finger is on the second fret of the first string, and my third finger is on the second fret of the second string. So the next chord is E minor, which is literally just second finger, second fret, first string. Next is probably the hardest chord in this whole thing. It's a bar chord. It's F. So you go across on the top string, and then you have second finger on the second fret of the second string, and third finger on the third fret of the first string. And that's what that looks like. The next chord is C, and that's really straightforward. So you have first finger on the first fret of the third string, and second finger on the second fret of the first string. Moving on, we have the G chord, which is very, very straightforward, another one finger chord. It is just the third finger on the third fret of the first string. Again, these one finger chords, you can change around which fingers you want to use. It's up to you. These are the ones that I prefer and I find most comfortable. The last chord is going to be E7, and for the baritone is first finger on the first fret of the second string. So really quick, just going to run through all of those on this guy, which is the soprano ukulele. As you can see, it's a lot smaller. And the chord shapes are a little bit different. A minor looks like E minor for baritone, where it is second finger, second fret of the first string. And then E minor is this, where it's first finger on the second fret of the last string, second finger on the third fret of the third string, and third finger on the fourth fret of the second string. F looks like C for the baritone, so you got first finger on your first fret of the third string, and you've got second finger on your second fret of the first string. C for soprano ukulele also looks like G for the baritone ukulele, so it's just third finger on the third fret of the last string. G for soprano ukulele looks like this. So you've got first finger on the second fret of the second string. You've got your second finger on the second fret of the last string, and then your third finger is going to be on the third fret of the third string. To finish it off, E7 is going to look a little like this. You got first finger on the first fret of the first string, second finger, second fret of the second string, and the third finger is also going to be on the second fret on the last string. So those are all the chords on both baritone and soprano ukulele. So I'm going to run through it a little bit on the baritone with you, so you can kind of see how my strumming patterns work and then a little bit of the chord patterns. Again, the chord patterns are linked down below from where I got them from. So for the strumming, I tried to keep it very similar to how BTS has it in their song. It's very similar to the original. And to start it off, because the piano isn't super intense, there's nothing major going on, it's a very soft, quiet song, which is partially why I did it. The strumming I did is just one strum. You can use your 4 fingers, your thumb, index, ring, and middle and ring fingers to just kind of pluck all the strings at the same time. So you go like that. You just kind of pull them all, and it'll ring out for a little while, and you can sing over that. So it's 피어있는 이 garden 가시도 송이 이 모든 성게 나누면서. And that's verse 1, or the first half of verse 1, depending on how you want to break it up. But the second half is the exact same thing, and then you get into the pre-chorus. This is where I wanted to start building, because it kind of feels like it's building a little bit in the actual song, and it just felt very natural for it to start building a little bit here. So in order to have that building effect without going all out, because I didn't want to go all out yet, I'm saving that for later, I just continued with the plucking, but I made it more frequent. So I did it more than once for each chord. So I do bum, 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 so on. So the pre-chorus will go a little like, and I know 너의 온긴 모두 다 진짜인 걸 푸른 꽃이 공연 손잡고 싶지만, and then it goes into the chorus. So as that G is ringing out there at the end of that pre-chorus. By the way, pre-chorus chords are F, A minor, and G. Forgot to mention that, but just that order 2 times over. And then it goes into the chorus. So you let that G ring out, and you go do like a little pickup into the chorus, and you start strumming. It's down, up, up, down, up, 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 down, up. You get the idea. So that's the strumming pattern I chose to continue to build it a little bit. The chord pattern for the chorus is C, E7, F, for the first half of it, and then as it continues to progress to the "you know that I can't show you me, give you me" part, it goes C, E7, F one more time, so it does that 3 times total in the chorus, and then at the very end it goes G, A minor, E minor, F, and then But I Still Want You ends on A minor, transitions to E minor, and then transitions to F before going into the next verse. So I'm going to run through that whole thing really quick so you can get an idea of how that sounds. 내 눈 거, don't smile at me, lie to me, 너에게 다가설 수 없으니까 내게 불러줄 이름이 없어. You know that I can't show you me, give you me, 초라한 모습 보여줄 순 없어. 두 가면에서 눈을 만나러 가, but I still want you. In addition, as you can tell what I just did, I want it to kind of go back down after the chorus. I want that build to be into the chorus and then to kind of just be like, but it's not going to happen. But I still want you. It decreases, it goes back down. So to have that effect, that F on that last bit, I let that ring out so that the "but I still want you" can be said essentially over silence. Yes, the chord is still ringing so that there's something there, but I want it to be kind of a quiet confession almost. And then I go back into the same as the pre-chorus, that pattern, so that there's still something there. Going back into the verses, same thing as before. Except it's only one part of the verse this time instead of two parts. So after the second verse, there are two chorus runs before the very end. So they run basically the exact same. They're just labeled slightly different in this. But I end it off trying to be, again, quiet confession. This is a very highly emotional song. I cried the first time I heard it. And I didn't even have the English lyrics in front of me because it was so emotional and just so bare. And I really liked the beauty in that. So I try to maintain that, especially at this very ending, when the whole point of the song is, but I still want you, but I want to have you, and I know it's not going to happen, but I still want it. As you end the song, you're kind of reaching the climax of this like confessional, basically. And I like to increase the message volume somehow. So in this case, I continued the strumming through the "and I still want you, but I still want you" part, which again, very much so a quiet confession to me, but this part is much like heavier. I don't really want to go super into the logistics of the music. I don't know why I am, but it's a very intense, highly emotional moment, and I feel like it needs to be given the power right here at the very end of the song that it's been kind of void of the rest of the song. The point is, gonna keep strumming through these parts. And I still want you, but I still want you, but I still want you, and I still want you. So in order for the song not to just end on a huge big punch and just be done and suddenly it's all over, I kind of use the strumming patterns to kind of fade it down into nothingness so that there's nothing behind that last line. Because again, that was very similar to the original, and I found that part of the original very, very, very powerful at the very end. How they're singing the line and everything else fades out, and it's just, but I still want you. Very powerful. Anyways, so that's kind of the run through of the song that I'm going to do with you guys. Again, down below is links to the chords, and it also has the memorization of the song. That's what I use to kind of keep track of the chords and the words. I do, however, have a few more tips for you if you'd like to stick around and listen to them. If you want to sing this in Korean and you don't speak Korean, it's going to be hard. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. It's going to be very difficult, but definitely possible. I wanted to play this song from the moment I first heard it, which was when it came out, and it took me probably 3-ish months to actually nail it down, and it wasn't like I was working on it nonstop, but it did take me a long time to nail down the words, and I still couldn't play it and sing it at the same time without the lyrics. I can sing it without the lyrics, I can play the chords without like looking at the chords, but I can't do both at the same time without looking at anything. Big, big, big part of this is you're going to want to listen to this basically nonstop, whatever song you want to sing in a different language, you're going to basically want to listen to it nonstop. You're going to want to get used to the way the words are supposed to sound instead of how they look, or based on romanization, and how you think they should be pronounced, because there are some real difficult ones, and especially The Truth Untold, that I was like, what? And then I listened to it a lot and I was able to get through it. Big help on that especially were those lyric videos that I don't know if you've seen them, but they have the Hangul, the romanization, and the English all in a row. And it's very helpful to listen to those and like watch those, because you're getting the pronunciation, you're seeing how they're pronouncing it or how they're romanizing it, and you're also getting, if you speak English, the English translation to understand what the song is about. So you can keep that spirit of the music when you're trying to perform it, because I think that's a big part of it. If you use this tutorial to cover the song, that would be really cool if you could like link me. I have Twitter and Tumblr and Instagram, so like tag me. I'll go look, and I'd be very excited about it, honestly. I'm also thinking about possibly covering either Taeyong's Scenery or Jimin's Promise, and I probably will end up covering both of them eventually. But as you can see, it's very hard to learn a song in Korean when you don't speak the language. So if you want to go, I have a little poll in the info bar. If you want to go and choose which one you would like to hear first, that would be really cool. If I don't figure out how to use the quizzes up in the info bar, you can just go ahead and comment down below, and I will look and see which one is a little bit more popular, and I will cover that one first. With that, I hope you all have a lovely day. I hope you have a lot of fun playing The Truth Untold, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.